Hey, Organic Price Books nerds, Jake from the Brave and the Boys coming at you with a overview for one of my most hyped up books of the year, Absolute Superman by Geoff Johns and Gary Frank. Now, should this have just been a Geoff Johns omnibus? Probably. Is it worth it in an absolute? Heck yes, and I'm going to tell you why. It collects 3 amazing stories, 2 of which you'll see listed here. I'm going to walk you through a couple tidbits from each of the stories, what makes this book so special, and why you should pick it up. So thank you, OPB, for sending this to me. Remember, if you do want to buy this book, you can save on 1 to 3 books, $2 with the code Braveboys, or if you're buying 4 or more, you can save 5% with the code Braveboyssit. Now, not only does that save you money, but it helps support a growing YouTube channel that doesn't make a ton of money yet. So the commission credit that you guys help me earn really keeps the lights on and helps me buy books for you. So let's dive into this gorgeous, beautiful, heroic book. So today I'm excited to do an overview of Absolute Superman by Geoff Johns and Gary Frank. Now this is going to include their whole trilogy together. They did an Action Comics, so the Legion of Superheroes storyline, Brainiac, and Secret Origin. It retails for $150 for 640 pages. And it is on sale for about $90 on Organic Price Books. So it does include Superman Secret Origins 1 through 6, Action Comics 858 through 863, 866, 870, Action Comics Annual number 10, Superman New Krypton Special number 1, and Action Comics number 900, along with character designs by Gary Frank and the script to Action Comics 858. So I'm going to show you a couple moments in each of the 3 books that this is included in. Before this, I had read Brainiac and I had read Secret Origins, but this was my first time reading the Legion stuff. And when you read all of it together, it really does tell an awesome story, but we just need that Geoff Johns omnibus that includes Last Son and the other stuff. So here you can see it is a gorgeous book with beautiful Gary Frank art. Gary Frank, the first time I saw his artwork was on Doomsday Clock, and I absolutely love it. And they talk in this book a lot about how to them, Superman will always be Christopher Reeve. So in the beginning, you get a little tease of Lex Luthor doing evil stuff. I think this pays off a little bit more when you read Last Son and you get his Superman Injustice League a little bit going on. But the first story is going to be about the Legion of Superheroes, and this is kind of a different story. So Superman, as you guys know, was the first alien of Earth, and he really brought unity in the galactic planets. But in this world, they have lied. The villain has lied about Superman's story and said he wasn't an alien, he was a human, and that aliens should be shunned. So what's cool about the Legion is they were friends with Clark, and they hadn't existed for a while. I don't even think they were around after Crisis on Infinite Earths, but Geoff Johns brought them back, and in this is his Superman going into the future, and the future is dark. The sun isn't yellow, it's red, so he has no powers, and the Legion said we were never going to bring Superman because he'd have no powers, but you know, he's there. He's like, I'm going to be a hero even without my powers. So they give him a flight ring and he does his best. But this is a dark world. This is a world without hope. This is a world where all the Legion of superhero members we know of are in hiding, and they're led by this guy who is not a cool dude. He doesn't really like aliens, and he does a lot of evil things. So Superman has to help the Legion win. They got to find all the members, and they got to help the world understand that it's okay to be an alien and that we should all be one galactic universe together, and some really cool stuff. So we'll skip ahead a little bit. Just all that Gary Frank can do no wrong in my book, and just amazing art. And even if you don't know the Legion of Superheroes that well, you'll fall in love with the characters. They give you enough information so that you know what's going on, and it is a great storyline. Now let's skip ahead to the next one, which is Superman Brainiac. So here you'll see Brainiac, the collector of worlds, doing his Brainiac thing, and then you get to see a lot of the inner workings of the Daily Planet. And honestly, this just made me excited for Superman Legacy because they've casted all these characters, and just really cool. They're so human, you know. Now Clark has dealt with Brainiac before, but never in his real form, and it is just awesome. I love the way Gary Frank draws the Brainiac ship. It's so alien and so foreign, and you just get an awesome battle between Superman with one of his greatest villains. Now, what's cool is before you start each book, you get a little excerpt of the script right here, and that gives you a lot of context. And I love that Supergirl is terrified of Brainiac. She's nervous, and it is just an awesome storyline. You get a lot of moments between Clark and his dad in this story, and it's just Clark at his most heroic, but it feels like this could have been one of the Richard Donner Superman films. That's the whole vibe of this book, is if you like the Richard Donner Superman films, you're going to love this book. And it is just iconic and amazing. And we need to see Brainiac in a modern live action Superman. So I won't spoil any more of this storyline, but it's just amazing, heroic Superman and unbelievable fights with Brainiac. So now we're in the meat and potatoes. This is on my list of the top 10 best Superman comics. This is Secret Origin. This is Geoff Johns and Gary Frank writing a origin story for Superman, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, origins of Superman. So you get to see him as a kid, not really fitting in, and what do? They reintroduce the Legion. So the Legion come and hang out with Clark. And I love this scene where Clark is like discovering his X-ray vision, and it's low-key terrifying because everyone he sees is a skeleton. And this part's kind of fun. He gets a kiss from Lana, and what happens? He can't control his laser vision. So I love that Clark is discovering his powers, and here's when he learns what's going on, that he's an alien, that he landed in this spaceship, and like totally a Marlin-looking Brando. And here you go. So again, this feels a lot like a Richard Donner film. And I love the relationship with Lex, how you get to see the rise of Lex and the rise of Superman. So it's really cool. I like that he wears the glasses not to disguise himself, but because he's afraid of his laser vision. So that's made of the crystals. Here's him discovering that he can fly, which was a gorgeous moment. And now one of my absolute favorite moments of the book, the first time he dons the Superman outfit. And he said, I am never going to wear this thing again. So the next portion reintroduces the Legion, which they were missing in comics for a while. And this reads better once you've read the Legion of Superhero stuff from the first portion of this book. So you get to see these characters again, their first time meeting. And it's the first time Clark gets to be with people who are his peers. You know, he's not an outcast. He's not the only one that can fly. So that really, I feel like, is important for him. He needs the Legion. This next portion is the most important part of the book, I believe. You have Superman in Metropolis for the first time, and he looks up in the sky, and he just says, G. And what happens? He runs into an old lady, and she's upset. She said, what are you, looking up in the sky? No one in Metropolis looks up at the sky. And he says, oh, sorry, I am not from around here. And through the course of this book, Superman inspires the city of Metropolis to look up in the sky, so much so that at the end of the book, someone else is looking up at the sky and bumps into her again. And she says, don't worry, this is Metropolis. We all look in the sky. So Superman inspires a city. You get to see him battle the Parasite, the origins of the Parasite, and Metallo. You get to see him battle Lex Luthor. You get to see him meet Lois. It's just an amazing Superman book. That's everything that we know and love. Let's jump ahead. Here you have him looking heroic, and he's drawn with such emotion and such humanism, and it's just an incredible, incredible story. Here's him posing for Jimmy for the first time, and he's like, hey, maybe put your hands on your hip. So it's just an iconic moment. Let's jump ahead now to the extras. So now we are greeted with a cover gallery. So here you can see different covers. We gotta get a Geoff Johns omnibus someday. I can't believe it hasn't already happened already. So just amazing, amazing artwork all around. And this is just one of the definitive Superman books. And this is the first time it's been collected in the absolute format. Then you're going to get character sketches. So a lot of the characters that are included in here. This is always fascinating to see the early interpretations of the characters and then how they're created. And Gary Frank is just an artist. I mean, I was a little upset with him when it took Doomsday Clock an extra year and a half to come out, but you know what? It was. And then lastly, you're greeted with the full script, which is just so fascinating to see the shorthand between the writer and the artist. Guys, that's going to bring this video to a close. Remember to keep reading and stay brave.